Hello everybody, and welcome back to another edition of DX News. We have been sweeping the cryptosphere to make sure we bring you the most relevant and up-to-date news possible. So thank you for tuning in and for liking and subscribing. I bet you can't guess who we're starting off with now. If you said Bored Ape Yacht Club, you're right. And if you said the SEC, you're also right. Talk about a dynamic duo. So the SEC is going after monkeys, and if you can guess why, we'll send you a link to revalidate your wallet. You guessed it, securities. So the SEC seems to be in a tight spot, like starving or something. They're going after influencers and anybody who's ever used the word security. Word on the street is that if you say the word security 3 times, Gary Gensler will show up behind you wearing a hoodie and a dark oil lamp. Now let's be clear, they have not formally charged Yuga Labs with anything, but they did state that they're conducting an investigation. It's something along the lines of them using the NFTs as stock for ApeCoin. It's well known that policymakers and regulators have sought to learn more about the novel world of Web3. We hope to partner with the rest of the industry and regulators to define and shape the burgeoning ecosystem, Yuga Labs told Bloomberg in a statement. As a leader in the space, Yuga is committed to fully cooperating with any inquiries along the way. Now, even though ApeCoin was not made by Yuga Labs, it is related to the Ape Foundation. Let's remember that Bored Ape Yacht Club and their other NFT projects have done over $5 billion in combined secondary trading, and Yuga collects a little over 2% fee. So do the math on that. So even if they didn't directly create the token, it was in their interest for it to be created. Now, because of this news, ApeCoin's price tumbled approximately 9% at the writing of this. And let's also not overlook that Yuga has been involved in several controversies already, including one guy claiming that they're hidden Nazis and have Nazi propaganda on their projects. Also, they are the biggest NFT project in the world, so it kind of leaves a little bad taste in the mouth because whenever mainstream people talk about NFTs, they tend to mention only Bored Ape Yacht Club. Now, this is where we take a moment to remind you that there are more to blockchain and NFTs than shitcoins and JPEGs. There are many potential applications for the blockchain that go beyond meme coins and, monkey JPEGs. Now, I think it's time that we talk about another financial institution that is not the SEC. So we will. And the reason is that they're putting a $53 million fine on a crypto exchange, Bittrex. The Treasury's Office of Foreign Asset Control, OFAC, and Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, said Tuesday that the U.S. exchange would have to pay 2 fines to the government entities of over $24 million and $29 million respectively for apparent violations of multiple U.S. sanction programs. This is because the exchange allegedly allowed people from the Crimea region of Ukraine, Cuba, Iran, Sudan, and Syria to make crypto transactions of over $263 million between March 2014 and December 2017, the statement said. They also mentioned that they don't have proper anti-money laundering practices. And what's the worry? I mean, we know that exchanges are never shady, and it's not like you can go to any random bank and pull off something that would allow you to launder money. Sarcasm, please note it. When virtual currency firms fail to implement effective sanctions compliance controls, including screening customers located in sanctioned jurisdictions, they can become a vehicle for illicit actors that threaten the U.S. national security. We all know there's something more to it than that. What's happened recently? The are all going nuts about taxing crypto and crypto crimes. Seems like inflation and shitcoin scams have hit the government hard and they're out for blood trying to get every single penny they can. And the stupid thing is that we dislike totally is that they're going after people, like they're taxing your profits. Why don't you learn how to trace the blockchain, do due diligence, and fucking go after the criminals, the rug pullers, and the scammers? But no, that would be too much work for you, wouldn't it? Our third news for the day is that there's a shiny new tool available online that shows you exactly how much Celsius investors have lost. And if you're good enough, you'll make it to the top 10. Celsius, the promising young company that lost millions upon millions of dollars, whose ex-CEO is one of the stupidest supervillains we've ever seen. And they're making a comeback. But nothing positive, simply the tool that will allow you to see how much money people have lost. So here's a recap of the top 10. Jacob Benjamin Fight lost over 40 million. Hirokado Koji, 38 million. Russell Garth, 26. Kerry David, 21. Bradley James Downs, 19. Christopher Villinger is $19 million down, and Zarin Denzel $15 million down. We have this information available in part because of two things. One, the leak that happened recently, and some guy that, compiled it and put this information online. You can even look up Alexander Masinski. Apparently, he left 13,000 in that cesspool. Interestingly, though, he dumped over 10,000 in sell tokens after the bankruptcy was made. Could those be it? So here's a question. Is it greedy for you to take $40 million and deposit them into a shady project because they promise high yields? Like, stupid is as stupid does, would say Forrest Gump. And the internet does not disappoint and is already full of pages who are discussing the people on this list. Number 7, for example, last year lost several $million in Bitcoin during a home invasion. Did he think he was going to recover them with Celsius? Wonder what is going to be his next exploit. Moving on to crypto regulation. The European Union has passed a landmark bill when it comes to crypto regulations, guys. Regulations. I wonder who's going to pop up instead of Gary Gensler. The G20, one of the biggest financial instruments available in the world, is coming together this weekend, thanks to a special request from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. 20 participating member countries make up the G20, including China, India, South Korea, Brazil, the US, the United Kingdom, and the European Union, to name a few. Back in April 2021, the G20 tasked OECD with developing a method for automating cryptocurrency tax reporting between nations. Oh, cryptocurrency tax reporting between nations. Then you cooperate, right, assholes? Why don't you find a way to work together and end world hunger, sons of bitches? Why don't you find a way to work together and track scammers? Track child trafficking. So many things you can work together for. But no, let's fuck the crypto people who we can't fuck yet. Assholes. And by the way, the European Union is not a country. It's a union of several countries. So anyway, we're getting taxed, boys and girls. People from the G20 will review a 100-page document that will decide our fates. Because really, you don't have law enforcement in it, because crypto scams and people screwing other people over is not as important as the possibility of taxing the honest ones. Now, to be clear, personally, there should be some regulation in crypto, but there should also be priorities. And the priority should be to make it safe. Taxing people isn't gonna make it safe. Anyway, I'm gonna read you a second article regarding this same subject. The MiCA bill asks those issuing crypto to publish a crypto asset white paper containing information about their project. It also asks stablecoin companies to meet capital requirements. Such entities will be restricted on how many tokens they can issue if they are not denominated in euros or other currencies used by EU member states. EU lawmakers have been debating MiCA for over 2 years now. The Economic Union is working hard to try and regulate, in the words of MEP Stefan Berger, the Wild West of the crypto world. The EU Parliament also today passed an anti-money laundering bill that requests crypto transfers include data on the payer and payee. Well, some of this is reasonable and expected and to some degree necessary. The things that aren't agreed on will be re-voted later on. I gotta reiterate how fucked up it is that they're going after taxing people's profits first before going after the scammers. Like priorities. If you go after a scammer, you'll probably be able to get much more money than by taxing people who are right now in the negative. But interesting how your lawmakers don't care about your safety unless they can tax you for it first. Guys, start raising your own chickens and plant your own tomatoes. Anyway, on happier news, lots of things happening with DX. New maps coming up for NFT brawlers, new stickers, and a lot of things that I can't talk about more. And we also got another pretty cool video on YouTube. It's an interview actually with Raphael, one of the GigaChat devs from DX. So remember guys, everything we talk here is for entertainment purposes only. Please never consider it financial advice. And as always, do your own research. This is Lewis asking you to stay safe.